So in the previous class we discussed about an epic Hadoop tools, what are the different advantages of Hadoop tools and what are the different categories of Hadoop, and about the PIG, that is a procedural programming languages. Now we start learning about a scoop. As I told in the previous class also, scoop is just nothing but an SQL to Hadoop and Hadoop to an SQL. Now we will study it is a relational database servers in the relational database structure. When a big data storage and analysis such as MapReduce having a Hive or a Base or Cassandra, Pig, etc. of the Hadoop ecosystem came into picture, they required a tool to interact with an RDBMS servers for importing and exporting the big data residing in them. Here Scoop occupies a place in the Hadoop ecosystem to provide a feasible interaction between the relational database server and the Hadoop's HDFS file system. So this is the history how the Scoop has come into picture with a big data. So Scoop is used in a Java database, that is the JDBS or object-oriented ODBS connectivity, and it has been tested in Microsoft SQL and it is in a Postgres SQL. Version 1 of a Scoop was released and written by specific databases. Version 2 has come beta version, does not support the connectors, and version 1 data transfer from RDBMS directly to HBase or HHive. So in this way the journey of an RDBMS in a Scoop, how that has been taken care is a thing. Now we will see how the Scoop is working. So here you can see the simple information how the Scoop tool is used for importing a data from RDBMS to an HDFS and from HDFS to an RDBMS. So in a RDBMS, what all the tools are available? We can use a Microsoft MySQL or a Oracle or a Postgres SQL or a DB2. In a Hadoop there is only Hive and HBase, because in the history also we studied in the previous class, and then HDFS. So in this way we can interact from RDBMS to Hadoop and Hadoop to RDBMS by using an SQL tools. So this is about importing. Each row in a table is treated as a record in the HDFS. All records are stored as a text data in a text file, as a binary data in Avro and sequence file. Similarly, the files given as input to Scoop contains records which are also called as rows in table. These are read and parsed into a set of records and delimited with user. That is called as a delimiter and a specified delimiter to user. So this is about the information. So little bit more about the Scoop. Scoop, the data import is done in two steps. One is with the Scoop examines the database, and that is gathering the necessary metadata of the data, and the second step is map only, no reduce step. And the imported data are saved in a HDFS directory, and Scoop will use the database name for the directory. So you can easily override the format in which data are occupied over by explicitly specifying the field separated under record terminator characters. Once placed in HDFS, the data are ready for the processing. So first stage, you remember, it is that it will examine the database to gather the necessary metadata. Second step is only map is used, not a reduce, such that Scoop submits to the cluster. This job does the actual data transfer using the metadata captured in the previous step. So it is like an algorithm. Step 1 and step 2. Step 1 is evaluating, that is examining. Step 2, whatever you are examined and collected, transferring, actual data transfer. So in this way step 1 and step 2 will be processed. Note that each node doing the input must have access to the database, that is the permissions. So in this way this is the execution of the Scoop. So I think you can better understand with this diagram. So how the Scoop is imported and how it has been gathered. So there is a Hadoop cluster. In a Hadoop cluster there is only map is going on, there is no reducer. So map will have an HDFS storage, because I always told you, it talks about the DBMS, it talks about the relational database. So once if I RDBMS is concentrating on the mapping, that is about a mapping is only talks about the input, collecting the input and applying or approaching with some algorithm, some method, some technique. So that is with the cluster. Here the technique is with the clusters. I am HDFS storage I am collecting. So this is the one way of importing the data from the MapReduce framework. So this is about the Scoop by using a mapper. But remember, we will not going to use here reducer. So an important process of the first step is to examine, and important process of second is about to evaluate. That is about the map only, and we can take it for the data transfer. Scoop divides the input data set into splits, then uses the individual map task to push the splits to database. Again the process assumes a map task and have access to the database. So the diagram what we explained. So you can see the same diagram very clearly about the gathering the data. So Apache Scoop version changes. This is about Scoop version 1 and Scoop version 2, which is in a contrast with a streamline. That is about version 2 no longer supports specialized connectors, and instead of that we have moved to an HBase and I. Okay, all the important exports are done through the interface. So this is about the history of what is the difference between the Scoop version 1 and the Scoop version 2. Connections are all major with this, whether it will support or not support. Then Curveyor's security integration, HBase and Hive, data transfer from Hive to HBase to RDBMS. So these are the some of the versions of futures that have been taken care. So Scoop example walkthrough. So you have to download the Scoop and download and load the sample with MySQL, add Scoop permission commands with the local machine with the cluster. Then you can do MySQL and HDFS, and from HDFS to MySQL, importing and exporting the data. So this is about one small installation, how we can install the download the Scoop and load a sample MySQL database. So this is about the Scoop. Now we will move on to the Hadoop Flume. So Hadoop Flume is a tool or a service, a data ingestion mechanism for collecting, aggregating and transporting large amount of streaming data, such as log files or event, from various sources to a centralized data. Flume is a highly reliable, distributed, configurable tool. It's principally designed to copy streaming data from various web servers. So this is about the Flume. So HDFS put command. So how the Flume is going to pick up. So Hadoop file system shell provides commands to insert the data that is from reading. The command is Hadoop fs put the path of the required and path in the HDFS where to save the file. So this is a one command called put. So problem with an put command, that is I think in the module 2 also I told you put stuff and get stuff, and make directory and remove directory. You can please view my module 1 video where I discussed about some of the simple commands of Hadoop: ls, make directory, delete, about the copy, that is get stuff and put stuff, local machine or from the HDFS, all this. There we learned about what is a put and what is a drawback of put command. So if we use a put command, the data is needed to be packaged and should be ready for the upload. Since the web servers generate the data continuously, it is very difficult task, because if it is packaged I can compile, I can upload, but it is streaming, I am collecting the data and then I am going to make a package. So then it is a chances of there is a delay. Then automatically that may be one of the drawback of the put, because of streaming data. I am collecting online dynamically, so it will be a drawback. Then what are the available solutions on this? So there is a Facebook Scribe, there is a Apache Kafka, and there is a Apache Flume. So why we learn the put command before going to the Hadoop Flume? This is the benefit of Flume. So applications of a Flume. In e-commerce web application wants to analyze the customer's behavior from a particular region, then Todoso, they would need to move an available log data into a Hadoop for analysis. That is a Flume. Flume is used to move the log data generated by application servers into HDFS at higher. That's what. If you want to analyze the customer behavior from a particular region, then this type of Flumes can be used. Advantage: it is a reliable, fault tolerant, scalable, manageable and customizable. So Apache Flume, we can store the data into any of the centralized stores, maybe in a base, HBase or HDFS. The incoming data exceeds the rate at which the data can be returned to the destination.
That is, Bloom's acts as a mediator between a data producer